Well, now I've come down to the church in the sea so that you don't have to. And this is why there aren't many trees growing in this neck of the woods. Hello and thanks for joining me. Today I'm in the Anglesey village of Aberffraw, right in the middle of Storm Ciara. Now, as you can probably see behind me, the old bridge, which is a feature in the middle of the village of Aberffraw, is completely swamped. We've got this perfect storm situation where a storm blows up the Irish Sea and a high spring tide gets funneled up the long estuary from the beach, which is about a mile away. So by the time it gets up here, there's an awful lot of water. So it's going to be quite difficult getting an image, but what I'm after doing here is copying a vlog that I did back in October 2017, just about a month or so after I started this channel. Now I'm going to have to apologise because this video, if it ever sees the light of day, is going to be very rough around the edges. There's no way that I can talk to you while I'm taking stills because I have to hang on to the tripod, otherwise it's going to blow into the sea. It's absolutely mad here at the moment. We're right in the middle of it. What I've been doing is getting an image of this bridge that I always like shooting, but it's really difficult under normal circumstances. Actually not that difficult despite the fact there's next to no light. I've cranked up my ISO to about 1250, been shooting at about a 200th of a second with a high burst so I can get waves as they break over the bridge, and also this boat that's slipped its moorings and is being smashed to pieces on the wall here. So hopefully it's made quite an engaging composition. What I have done though, unusually for me, is I've opened my aperture up to f4. Doesn't really matter too much because I don't really need to worry about depth of field. With a Micro Four Thirds camera, it's more forgiving than a crop sensor or a full frame. So by opening the lens up as fast as it'll go, it gives me the shutter speed that I need. As far as depth of field goes, I've checked some images. It does look okay. The foreground might be a bit soft, but I don't mind that. Well, I think I've got everything I need here, probably about 100 exposures on the SD card, so hopefully something good. Right, what I'm going to do now is head down to the church in the sea, because we're still actually quite some way off high tide, so some of these cars around where I am might be in a bit of trouble in about an hour or so. Well, now I've come down to the church in the sea so that you don't have to. And this is why there aren't many trees growing in this neck of the woods. It's absolutely mad. I haven't seen conditions like this since I was here in 2017 in Storm Brian. There's very little chance of me being able to talk to you when I move away from the car, which I'm currently using as a handy windbreak. I'm going to see what I can do about getting some stills, but there's so much spray in the air, it's going to be a problem keeping my lens clean. If I can do it, same sort of settings as up in the village, but we'll see. And there's a few more nutters turning up to walk their dogs, but there's no beach to walk on at all. Anyway, I'm going to go and see what I can do, and apologies if I'm not able to get any B-roll from here, because God knows what I'm going to get. God, I've got absolutely drenched and I've got no idea what's on the camera. Let's get home and have a look. Well, back home in one piece, thank goodness for that. Quite an interesting drive home actually. Apologies for any ambient noise you can hear. It's the current deluge lashing against the front of the house. Dodged a few fallen trees as well, so lots of fun. I've had a look at the exposures that I got, 236 of them, and in Lightroom I think I've got something to work with. Now none of them are going to be any kind of fine art interpretation. They're going to be record shots of some particularly interesting conditions. So, thank you ever so much for watching. I really appreciate it and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, why not subscribe now and join me next time. Cheers.